learn a trick that will help me to improve the skill for public for speaking at the moment, and I just recognize that I need to if I need to better in that speaking skill, then I would like to practice more, and not only the output, but also the input of my that I need to read uh, more and listen more. And I just interested about the listening skill, and I found on the website again influent.com how to really improve your English listening skill, and then I would like to share today. Okay, we will start with why most people fail to improve their English listening skills. There is only one reason people fail: they don't listen to enough English. This is why the most people fail to improve their English listening skills. They don't listen to enough English. Makes sense, right? If you spend thousands hours listening to English, your listening will definitely improve. So unfortunately, here is what many people do to improve their listening. Watch a film movie in every week. Listen to some times in English 3 to 5 times a week. Listen to English for 15 minutes per day. These actions are weak. They aren't significant enough to make a difference. Think about it. If you listen to English for 15 minutes a day, 1 year from now, you will have listened just only 91 hours of English. 91 hours of English is just uh, 2, 4, 5, around 5 days. Uh, it's just around 5 days, right? This is not enough. It will take you many years to see an improvement. So people who listen to English a lot also fail. Some people spend several hours a day listening to English. They know that to improve their listening, they need a lot of practice. Unfortunately, these people usually fail to improve their listenings as well. Why is that? Here is usually happens. First, the first they motivated to improve their listening. They decided to listen the English for 2 hours a day, right? And second, after a while, they have trouble finding time to practice. And the third, finally, they lose motivation and give up. And last one, because they quit too soon, their listening their listening skill didn't improve. So this is how many motivated English students fail. They practice hard in the beginning, but then they quit soon afterwards because they can't maintain that kind of practice. So here is the lesson to be learned for your English listening skills to improve. You must listen to English regularly over a long period of time. Listening to English for several hours per day for a month is not enough. You need to do it for many months or over a year. How to successfully improve your listening skills even if you don't have time. Want to improve your listening skills successfully? If you do these two things, your success is 100% guarantee from that website, not mine. Okay, number one is listen to a lot English every day. Number two is do it for a long period of time. But how do you do that if you don't have time? Let me share a few tips overcome this problem. Tip number one, make sure your phone always has English listening material. Make sure your phone always has listening English listening material. First, you need to download a lot of English listening material to your phone, and this way you will listen to English no matter where you are. Okay, and what kind of English material to download to your phone? Podcasts are audio show or something like that, which you can download from the internet for free. To download podcast, you need a podcast apps. That is the instruction to download the app, and I just prefer you to go to your store, for example, Play Store or App Store, and just search the podcast, and you can download it for free. And tip number two, turn boring time into listening time. Turn boring time into listening time. Take a look at the activity below. What do they have in common? Driving, riding a bus, train, doing house chore, washing dish, cooking, working out, walking, waiting for something. These activities have one thing in common: they don't require concentration or deep thinking, right? Throughout the day, there are a lot of activities like the example above. So these are the best time to improve your listen listening skill. Just turn your like uh, the time that you can parallel activity in the time for your listening skill. Make sure to listen to some English during this activity. By doing so, it's quite easy to listen to English for 1 to 2 hours every day. Do what you see the brilliance of the strategy. This is how you can improve your listening even if you don't have time. Even busy people can do this because everyone have the gap time. Maybe not about Elon Musk that I thought personally. Okay, tip number three: make it fun, entertaining. Make it fun, entertaining. We all spend time each day of entertaining stuff, playing games, surfing internet. It's kind of over gambling and so on. We spend lots of time on these things because they are fun and addictive. So, if you want to spend a lot of time listening to English, just make it entertaining. If you do that, it's easy to improve your listening skills, and you don't have to force yourself to do it. If it kind of boring, you will early giving up. But how do you make listening to English fun? They have the idea. Number one, subscribe to entertaining channels on YouTube. Maybe kind of the uh, it depends on your interest. And number two, Bing watch popular television series or movie. In the past, it was a big difficult to find American or British TV series to watch, but that's no longer that case. With Netflix, you can get instant access to thousands of TV show and movie. And what if you don't understand the material? In case of if we can use the podcast or uh, see the movie while we have time for practicing, but uh, what if we don't understand that material at all? What if you don't understand you are listening to? There is no transcript, or maybe there is a script but you can't read it because you are listening and driving at the same time. What should you do? Well, you have three options. Number one, do nothing. Do nothing. Not a big deal if you don't understand some parts of the conversation as long as you understand the main idea. Keep the main idea. And don't need to read the transcript just because you can't make out some words of or sentence. Now you might be wondering, if I don't read, how will I learn or meaning of new vocabulary, right? I I have this idea too. I have this idea too. This is a common concern. Some English students believe that in order to learn new words, they must look up those words in the dictionary. They believe that is only way to learn new words. Yes, of course, I'm as well. But that's not true. The truth is, your amazing brain has the ability to learn the meanings of new words from context surrounding words. The context is the environment or the like journey until found your words. Uh, and it is how you learn your native language without using transcript or dictionaries. So don't worry if you don't understand some words when listening to English. If you hear people use that word multiple times in different contexts, your brain will eventually figure out the meaning of those words. But what if the material is too difficult and you don't even understand the main idea? Option number two, listen or something easier. Listen to something easier. Degrade your level of your material. When some students start listening to something, they try to finish it even though it's too difficult to understand. Trying to do it, trying to do so is painful after a while. These students usually quite improving their listening altogether. This behavior is ridiculous. This There are lots of free English material on the internet, and new English material is created every day. Every day. Therefore, this there are absolutely no need to finish what you start. If the material that you're listening to is too difficult, or very difficult, or boring, just delete and find something else to listen. But if almost everything is too difficult for you, what do you do? In this case, the option number three, read in English to learn new vocabulary. Read in English to learn new vocabulary. If you feel like almost everything you listen is too difficult to understand, your vocabulary is probably very small. That's why you have trouble understanding most English conversation. In this case, I suggest that other than listening to English, you also read in the English to quickly learn words and phrases commonly. Use it in conversation for recommendations on what you to read on that blog. Uh, influent.com/English reading material. Special advice for beginners. If you are a beginner, here is my special advice for you. Start small. Start small. At first, don't do anything that will discourage you and make you quit. If you quit, everything will be all for nothing. Just keep small it as you can keep to do it every day. That is my idea. I said earlier that you might listen to English a lot, but in the beginning, don't worry about that yet. Instead, please focus on getting yourself to listen every day, even if just 10 or 15 minutes per day. That's the stage. Your goal is not to improve your listening. Your goal is develop the habit of regular listening. All right, this is a kind of once the habit is formed, improving your listening will be easier. Okay. Here is thing that shouldn't do in the beginning. One, listening to something that quite difficult to understand. You will give it up. Two is forcing yourself to listen the English several hours a day. Don't force if you not fun about it. Don't force it. Just change that material. Number three, beating yourself up when you feel like you are not practicing enough. In the beginning, the first month, it's okay to listen just for 10 to 15 minutes a day. It's also okay to listen to something that is very easy to understand. Just make sure that you do it almost every day. If you fall to listen the English for a few days, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Don't use the excuse to quit. Just relax and promise yourself that you will listen to some English in the next day. Why you are listening improves very slowly. I will don't touch. I won't touch this topic on this episode, and I will separate it to be the next episode because we provide lots of content in on this, and I will recap what I just read about the improving listening skill. The the title of it is why people fail to improve their English listening skill because they didn't spend uh, didn't spend enough time for practice to listening. For example, we just spend a bit time every day for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes for a long period. But we need to increase it. We need to increase the skill that spend more time, hours a day, 2 hours a day. But in the beginning level, in the uh, scratch level, that's okay. Just change yourself, change your habit first. And even people listen uh, to English a lot also fail because they might uh, not trying to not trying to keep the material that match with them, like the material may be boring, or you just mm, it is not interested for you, like this. The key to success for improving listening skill is listen a lot every day. Listen a lot every day and keep it a long period of time, maybe several months or a year, like this. The tip to success is you have the time, like you do another thing and you keep listening uh, while you do the another activities. Keep your material on your phone, that or something that easy to pick it, uh, to listen while you do another thing, or uh, gain your interested by change your material to be the topic that you're interested in, and make it fun, like this. Make it fun. Netflix is the one option. And if you that the kind of no foundation about practicing English or practicing listening, you can't even listen anything from your material. They prefer you to just do nothing, just listening keep listening. You will keep listening. You will understand it by your subconscious. Your brain will work on it and listen in the easier material. That some kind of your material may be more too difficult. Just degrade the level of word together, level or phases of your material, and you will understand it uh, uh, better. And three, before you listen it, you just read it. You read it first and listen it. You read it and listen it. Read it and listen it. It will improve you more than you just listen the new word that you never familiar with it. Special advice. They prefer you to understand understand yourself, to practice the habit first. Don't beat yourself up for like uh, like uh, expect over expect with yourself for understand it. uh, Listening to something that quite too difficult to understand, shouldn't do, shouldn't do, shouldn't force yourself to understand, uh, shouldn't forcing yourself to listen English several hours there at the beginning. And don't beat yourself if you just fail for uh, some material or some day or some kind of, you just, that's okay, you just accept it and to do it again like this. And the one trip that would like to I would like to share, I keep doing this video and I try to improve myself as well. And I start with talk start with speaking it in my native language first. For example, I speak it พูดเป็นภาษาไทยก่อน I doing it for 100 episode, and then after that I try to easy improvise it until I can't improvise, I have no word to improvise. I switch to read the blog and remember and and improvise it again. And after that I try to read more and improvise it and try to speaking. After that I try to read it and record it, and I just get my feedback from the video that about my intonation or my words or my the comprehension of it. But the most important about is I keep doing it every day, even someday I don't have the feeling to do it. Like I just feel like no need to do it anymore. I just keep doing it for 10 minutes for 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 minimum video. 10 minutes is kind of everyone can do. I think everyone can talk about 10 minutes. It's easy to do. But in some day, not every day, but in some day that I don't feel uh, less likely to do it anymore, and I just record it for 10 minutes. that that's this is the reason, because if I skip that day, the next day I can't guarantee that I will come back to record a video, even I have the feeling to record or feeling to uh, share what I learned like this. It will harder to come back to the practicing. uh, Even I don't have the feeling to do it in some day, but I just keep doing it for, if the next day would keep the I would keep the habit to doing it. And I set the goal. I set the goal to do it every day in this year, in 2020 year. in for this year. I will do it every day, no matter if even something happened with me, or but I will keep doing it. That is my promise. Okay, tomorrow I will continue the half of the page. Maybe talk about why your listening skill improves slowly, or is there any way to quickly improve your listening skill? Uh, how and how? Okay, this is all of my today. Thank you so much. You can feedback me anytime or anything you want. Thank you.